wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones and this is the Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy E. Jones, and the show that I bring to you live every Sunday from 8:30 to 10 on Sundays is a program that's bringing you the truth. It's a program that gives you the opportunity to call in if that's what you choose to do. I have a lot of folks that I meet. Let me know that they really enjoy listening, and that's a compliment. That's a compliment, and I appreciate it. And you know, people walk up to me and talk with me and go through some of the subjects that we've talked about, and I'll tell them. I say, well, "Have you called? Do you call?" And the answer from the family is that no, I didn't call because I just wanted to listen. And I thank you very, very much, family, for being so kind to me, so wonderful, and so loving. Once again, this is Billy E. Jones, Talk Beat Jones. Remember, you can watch it over the Roku box, Amazon, Apple, all those things, all of the anything on the social media, the Facebook, YouTube, you got it, and you can have the Talk Beat Billy E. Jones show. So again, I am Billy E. Jones, and listen, call your friends right now. Call your friends right now. Call your friends right now. I have a guest that's ready to talk and give to you some things that may be disturbing, in that the truth will set you free. My guest, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right, we're going to bring on the guest at this point right now. Sir, would you please introduce yourself to the family from around the world?
Hello, my name is Otis Mathis, and I'm from African Town, 48217. Born and raised all my life in Southwest Detroit.
And when you say African Town, because now I'll be interacting with Mr. Otis Mathis, because I find that he has an interesting story, and I asked I've never had a conversation with him about what he is doing, how it was set up. This is live interview, folks. So, Mr. Mathis, Otis, would you tell us how it was African Town always named African Town, or is that something different?
That's something new we're working on. It's if you look at the city of Detroit maps, you'll see it's called the Boynton area. And so we are now working on renaming and tagging it African Town. The location is at one end of Southwest Detroit is Corktown, at the extreme end near downtown, and at the other end across the Rouge River, there's approximately 8 blocks of the city of Southwest Detroit, and that's where we call it an African Town, the Ecorse, Rouge, Lincoln Park, Melvindale, and Dearborn.
The African Town process, when Councilwoman Joanne Watson was proposing the name African Town, I forgot the exact area, the district, but the city council folks that was there, and folks, they weren't feeling that. Why was that?
They was doing where Harmony Park is right now. That was the area, and I was part of trying to get that named African Town. And the reason why, there's two reasons why it never got that designation. One is that all the other ethnic groups, like the Latinos from Vernon Springwells, the Asian from Chinatown off of Canfield, and second, I believe it was, and even Poletown and other ethnic groups, Corktown, considered Irish, came and said since the city of Detroit was majority African American, you don't need an African town. And another thing they did behind those closed doors, because things happen behind closed doors that activists and things don't know, they start sticking in like car theater down there, but they didn't own the building, and putting the fish market, white businesses in the Harmony Park to dilute it as being an African-American area to be called African Town.
Wow. So because we had, and we have the majority of the population, 85, 90% or more, the designated area that Councilwoman Joanne Watson wanted to name African Town, folks who got Poletown, Chinatown, Asia Town, we could not have a designated because we don't say that Detroit, African Town. So we don't have the destination in saying that Detroit is African Town. We wanted to have the designation of that area being known as African Town. Are you having any pushback from your desire or from your professional perspective of moving forward and naming your area African Town?
I think I'm having the same problem as they did by diluting Harmony Park so it wouldn't be a majority African American or heavy money business in Harmony Park that would have pushback, giving donation to city council and mayor to make sure it wouldn't happen. I'm starting to see like our city council person who has done nothing for us really starting to pop up as we have organized a business association, and they're popping up talking about running or organizing a business association. They're giving us a lot of tickets when they used to didn't even come over across the Rouge River to our commercial businesses for graffiti, which we had very little. At one time, we had none at all, and occupancy, little strange things like that.
So you're feeling that they're starting to do some form of harassment?
Correct, in a subtle way, because we like shows like here on WHPR is that TV 33. When people hear it, and sometimes people are telling me, I recognize your voice, like you say. When you hear you on the radio, you Otis Mathis from African Town.
Yes.
Because I'm telling African Americans, can you come out and help us develop that? You know, what do you want to bring to African Town? How do we do pop-ups in African Town? How can we control our commercial buildings, which we own the majority of, African Americans for 2 or 3 generations?
You're speaking of an area that you are wanting to title
African Town.
African Town.
Right.
Okay, okay. What gave you the concept, the idea, the push to have a designated African Town? That's kind of a strong stamp, bro.
Well, is Mexican Town a strong stamp? Is Polish Town a strong stamp? You know, you say a strong stamp. Why does African Town got to be a strong stamp? What gave me the desire, because I was involved in wanting to do that when we had a problem with our World War II generations when I got home from the service in the 70s.
Okay.
So in the early 80s, in our area, our Korean and World War II generations thought that area was the original Southwest Detroit. And if something happened on Spring Wells and Verner, and it's on the news, say, for example, a murder.
Yes.
And then you tell people that you're from Southwest Detroit, and they go, oh, you over there where they murdering folks. And then you got to explain to them, you don't live in that part of Southwest Detroit. They called it the original Southwest Africa Town. And you got to explain you live on the other side of the Rouge River. And so they wanted to change it and give its own identity, except for our seniors, my parents, and them fought for it to be the original Southwest Detroit. But we always was looking at South Point, some name to say you know where this part of Southwest Detroit is located at.
Okay, okay. So, so this is a historical site for you then?
Correct.
Okay. What is it that your business comrades or people in the community, how are they working with you?
When we first started saying it after Marathon, you got to realize that Southwest Detroit as a whole, from 6th and Howard, Michigan Avenue, you know, following the boundaries of Detroit and along the Detroit River and then crossing over the Rouge River, has never been majority African American, even to this day.
Okay.
And so, but in zip code 48217, it was about a 60% African American and 40% white community. About 3 years ago, Marathon bought out all the white people. They lived on the other side of 4th Street next to Marathon and left the African American community. Similar to what's in Corktown, and some people say Corktown is not majority white. That's because they don't know the boundaries of Corktown, the Hubbard Farms, Hubbard Rashard, Bagley, North Corktown. If you know the true boundaries of Corktown, it's 90+% white. So now African Town at the other end is 90-something% black.
You mentioned Marathon, and there's times when you can, because folks, if you're going from Detroit and you're going south through what is that? What community is that? Dearborn. Going through Dearborn, you come to that Marathon station or in that area, going to Southwest Detroit, and you've got to put your windows up. The air quality can just be terrible. So, Otis Mathis, what and how is it that the citizens in that area of the Marathon is dealing with the potential health hazards of that Marathon factory?
Well, we have been studying, at least I have been studying environmental issues, especially air pollution, since I pretty much got home from the service in the early 1980s in the white community over there in that zip code 48217. That community had a name called Oakwood Heights, even though it was in the same zip code, but they were like 90+% white. And they were studying that since they lived right next door to Marathon. So in our studies especially plume studies, we realized that when we fought the heavy metals that would come out of the smokestacks fall straight down in places like Delray, Southwest, Melvindale, Dearborn, Lincoln Park, River Rouge, Ecorse, because it's not just zip code 48217. It's the largest African American community over there. So once we studied that and then found out getting that cleaned up, and the plume, what you see, the fumes that come up out of the stacks, they don't drop to the ground. They float. So it depends on where the wind is blowing. The question we always ask, why is that we don't get a health study? When they talk about a health study, they say zip code 48217. And we have some activists now in that area. But then they'll tell you about zip code 48209 in Southwest Detroit, zip code 48210. But when they do the media, they do zip code 48217. They don't talk about Melvindale, which is stuck right in there. River Rouge, really, which have a large African-American population, but probably still majority white. So it's strange that African Town only wanted to get that designation. And some people say it blows away from us.
But the question we understand about
smell don't kill.
Understand. And they say that it's kind of like when we have this power, the gas, they got it smelling like a rotten egg, so you can notice it. So that's something what the Foundries is doing. I mean, the Marathon, where it stinks so bad, something is going on.
No, that's just them transferring the oil into gasoline. And so they burning it. It's like if you burning even boiling water in your house, if you walk in and you can get a whiff of the steam. Now,
when you say the smells don't kill,
right?
Don't folks wake up at times and find stuff on their cars or windows that has come from that plume?
When we used to have heavy metals, it did, but you don't see that now. That's why you don't hear that much more about film on cars.
So did they do something differently to take the metals out of their system?
Yeah,
so
it was
that
a class action lawsuit.
Got it. Got it.
And with Ellen Park, those white communities over there that doing the suiting, we kind of came on the end. We didn't have the initial class action suit. We came on the end of 5 years.
Okay.
Because remember, they was having the same problem. They don't sit around and they start pulling lawyers in, putting all their paperwork in one spot, taking it to court.
Okay.
And then when we came in on the suit about things like that, we were like a rider. They had been doing it for 5 years.
Got it. What is it that when you are leaving your space and you're looking out and seeing what is going on in the city of Detroit, what is your observation, Otis Mathis?
When I'm leaving my space and I look,
You've got your designated African town, and you're looking at the rest of Detroit. What is it that you're seeing in the political ranks? What's going on?
oh, okay. What I see is first a selective development. Once I cross the Rouge River, come back into Detroit.
Yes.
Well, I got to stop saying into Detroit because I live in Detroit.
That's
and I get
right.
on people saying that. Once I come back further deep into Detroit, going east or northwest, I see selective development. And I see now in the selective development, in our nonprofit Citizens with Challenges in 2016, we got a grant from the Jewish Vocational Service. And to do a comparison of I-75 in the city of Detroit from Africatown, because we at the gate of I-75 coming into Detroit, and all the way to 8 Mile. And I try to explain to the people around 8 Mile, you got whites that are moving into your neighborhood. And they said no. So I realized people are no longer walking the blocks. I said they're coming in from Warren, East Point, and some Grosse Point. Some are buying homes, renting them out, selling them. Some are living in these homes. So I'm starting to see the people that cannot afford to live downtown or at one time lived downtown in Lafayette Tower. People didn't realize there were several whites in the dilapidated downtown area being pushed out now.
Hold on just a moment. So you're saying that white folks that was living downtown, correct me if I'm wrong,
You're right.
white folks that was living downtown is being pushed out and they're moving into the southwest area?
Not only in the Southwest, because they always have been in Southwest.
Okay.
Because even the 1967 conflict, when whites and blacks left Detroit, Southwest whites did not leave. The Lithuanians, Polish, Hungarian, they didn't leave.
Okay.
Hillbillies, as my wife said, it was white hillbillies. That my family come from the area of Pennsylvania, and I'm a hillbilly. Yeah, that's why we get along. They never left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, when we are looking at the political folks in Detroit, the mayor, what is your estimation of what Mayor Duggan is doing for this city?
Mayor Duggan is milking the city. When him and Ed McNamara, Dave Cass, Jennifer Granholm, because everyone don't think of Jennifer Granholm as a Republican. Her parents are Republicans from Canada, now from Canada, because they all live in California. She brought her parents here. Mike Duggan was a Republican. He created the Young Republican for Ed McNamara over in Livonia.
Well, hold on. You slid that in. I've heard folks say that Duggan, the mayor, is a closeted Republican.
No,
You-
closeted Democrat.
A closeted Democrat, but he's an open Republican?
Well, look at him. Who do he get along with in Lansing, especially other than Granholm?
But I'm just saying on the ticket that he runs as a Democrat, though, right?
Only for county, city, it's nonpartisan.
Okay. But wherever it is that he has to put down his affiliation, he puts down as a Democrat.
When they first ran to be Ed McNamara became Wayne County exec, that's when it switched. He was a ticket holding Republican prior to that.
And then he switched.
Correct. Because you
Okay.
can't win a Republican seat for county exec in Wayne County. It's majority Democrat.
Now I want to go back to, you said he created the Young what?
Young Republicans in Livonia when Ed McNamara was the city mayor.
So that's on record.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So there is a history there.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, please, sir.
So I see where at one time, like I'm working on my 5th college degree at Wayne State, where I got my first one in the 70s, early 80s.
Okay.
And when I
Fantastic,
went-
bro.
Thank you. When I went back there in 2014, I was bumping into around all these young white folks, and they were upset that they were being pushed out. Now, you're not hearing that on television or radio or reading it in the paper, and a lot of them have Section 8. They know how to manipulate their income, even if their parents are multimillionaire,
Yes.
to be low income and get Section 8 and still benefit from their parents' large resources. But the rents and things had went up so high where they were staying at, and they were not using Section 8 in the downtown and its immediate area,
Okay.
that they were being pushed out. And they didn't want to go back to the suburbs. They didn't want to go back to living with their parents. So what their parents helped them do is buy homes over on the edges of Detroit. So they kind of between the white suburban community and the African-American city of Detroit. But got a quick place to run if something happens, because they're on the edge.
Go right back to the suburbs if something
Right,
happens. Okay. So now, when we're looking at what the mayor is doing and proposing for the city of Detroit, speaking about a $200 million bond for schools, is that what that's about?
No, the mayor really don't have any, other than when the governors, like starting with England and Granholm and Snyder, took over Detroit Public Schools. The mayors really had no input or influence or control the resources. It's once the state took them over and passed along a few times directly to the mayor.
I'm going to regress with this question. Did Mark Hackle, wasn't he also a disciple of Ed McNamara?
I'm trying to think. I remember his name, but I'm trying to think. Mark Hackle, what did he do?
He's the person in the suburb, the commissioner. Well, he was a sheriff at one point. Now he is the other, I forgot what it is now that he is, but Mark Hackle.
Oh, he's the county executive.
County
County.
Macomb County,
Right.
yes.
No,
He's never been with Ed McNamara?
no.
Oh, okay.
He was a sheriff of Macomb County. At one time, Macomb County didn't have a county exec. It was even when I was a Wayne County commissioner also.
Who was that?
I was a Wayne County commissioner.
You were?
Yeah, for Southwest Detroit, Ecorse, and River Rouge. I was the only, other than Art Blackwell, who had Highland Park and Hamtramck in his district, which was in the middle of Detroit. I was the only African-American county commissioner that represented suburbs.
For the family members out there who hear the word or have people say that they were county commissioners, what is the function of a person who is in the position of being a county commissioner?
Well, one thing in the city of Detroit, you must understand when, even though your commissioners get your vote, their resources really don't come to the county. Oh, they may can raise some monies to get football helmets for your kids. They may can raise some money to do some project at the park and rec. They may can feed the seniors some hot dogs. But really, the county, Wayne County serves primarily outside the city of Detroit. Because when Mayor Young was in office, and it started to change under Archer primarily, is that you used to hear the term Big Four. Wayne County, Macomb County, Oakland County, and the city of Detroit. Detroit then was treated like a county from the federal government and the state because they got their monies directly to service the city. Little cities like Ecorse, Melvindale, Lincoln Park, their money went into the county and the county serviced them.
When we are at the point where we are now, I'm skipping to Donald Trump. What is your thinking about Donald Trump? And Donald Trump is saying that, I read it today, his folks are saying, or the people in the newspapers are saying that Donald Trump is putting out a threat to all the people who were investigating him, prosecutors, etc., investigators, that he is going to make their lives miserable. He is going to go after them, have his folks go after them, and have them destroyed. What is your thoughts prior to that conversation?
Well, if you know some of Donald Trump history, that's no surprise. He think he mafia. He hung around with them coming up very young, hustling and things like that.
Yes.
So he think that's part of his personality. And another thing about Donald Trump, he worried that once he leave office, because all them talking about you cannot indict a sitting president, in that same breath, same sentence, say once he leave office, you can accumulate the stuff. So he's going to try to do whatever he can while he in office, destroy the people that he thinks going to hurt him and his family once he leave office. his dream is never have to leave office.
Wait,
But
now you're hitting on something there when you say, did you say his dream is never to have to leave office, which
Correct.
means that he don't want them to be able to vote to be the president in the future?
Correct.
So is that why, here's where we get kind of crazy outside the box, folks. His relationship with Putin, his relationship with the North Korea guy. Well, let's just put it this way. His relationships with all of these people who are tyrants. He has a friendship going with them. He has a man love going with these folks. They have his cell private number. He calls them and you don't know. If he don't tweet it, you don't know. Because those are private conversations that here before, the presidents never did it that way. Is that right?
True.
So here's this. Let us be blunt. In America, there's a thing called the alpha female and the alpha male. Now, as good and great as black folks want to be, and as strong and tough as black folks want to be, in America, you are not going to be the alpha male. That white boy, white man, white person who understands how to be the bully, because that white man, white person is going to bully his own folk, and that's why he is the supreme male. And everybody else will bow to him. That's Donald Trump's understanding about his life. And if you watch him, Otis Mathis, you can see that he has no respect for any laws, anything that goes on. And even when they tell him, no, you can't do it, he'll say, well, I believe I can do that anyway. In fact, I know that I can do this. So when we speak about his ability to do things, don't put it past him at some point. And Otis, you can comment here about changing the system, how we get to be the people that elect the president of the United States. You want to elaborate a little bit?
Yeah, I agree with you. And another thing I want to correct, other presidents have had direct numbers to Putin and the North Koreans. It's just that they have not used it the way Donald Trump has used it. Because in an emergency, you want to make direct contact with another country.
We're going to prepare to go ahead, please.
But Donald Trump is not. As you see, he go against his own people that he appoint. And if they don't do what he say, he get rid of them.
That's right.
He's just doing it to see if he can do it. And he got that man love for them. He's just trying to figure out how have y'all done it. Is I can figure out some of the things y'all have done to control your country for me to control America.
And here's how we're going to control this conversational flow. As we're moving along, the telephone number is 313-868-0342. And for those who are watching, you see the other numbers on the screen. If you choose and you have a question or you have a comment, when we come back from the commercial break, then you can join us. Otherwise, we're just going to keep giving you this wonderful, great, feeding you this information on the Billy E. Jones, Talk Beat Jones. My guest, Mr. Otis Mathis. Be right back. You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and
can have your own party on TV. Party with RJ Watkins and the TV33 family when you hold your own Facebook watch party. Connect all your friends with our friends, and we can have a watch party together. Watch your favorite TV shows when you want, how you want, with your favorite people. Here's how it works. Log on to Facebook from your computer or tablet and go to the RJ Watkins fan page at facebook.com/TV33WHPR, the one with the blue WHPR logo on the left. Like us. Click the word videos with the red tag that says live next to it. Then click the share button at the bottom of the video player and select start a watch party. Invite whoever you want. Your party will be recorded and archived for playback anytime you want.
This is the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Billy Jones. I want to invite you to listen, to watch, and to participate every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. That's right, from 9 to 10 a.m. That's the Talk Beat Jones, and I am Dr. Talk. Make sure you tune in every Sunday from 9 to 10 a.m. That's Talk Beat Jones. Remember, tell your friends. Talk Beat Jones, we're now on Sundays from 9 to 10 a.m.
Now you can watch WHPR TV 33 on Fire Stick. Catch all of your favorites. Stay informed. Don't miss a minute of your favorite talk shows. Call, text, tweet, post. WHPR TV 33 is worldwide on Fire Stick. For more information, go to FirestickTVNetwork.com or call us at 313-868-6612. WHPR TV 33, a Watkins Broadcasting Company.
Has age finally caught up with you? Do you have high blood pressure, diabetes, or kidney disease? Well, look and feel younger today. We discovered a new product that promotes appearance and joint issues by the way of collagen, HA, and other super ingredients. Without injections, this product will significantly improve joint mobility, help with high blood pressure, kidney disease, and diabetes. It'll also help your skin as well. Call us now at 706-319-0255 or 313-885-4321.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and okay. We're back. We're here. This is the Billy E. Jones, the Talk Beat Jones guy. And I was reading my moniker. On my shows, they call me Dr. Talk. Why? Because I can talk, yes, about any and everything, Otis Mathis. What about you?
Yeah, they call me the preacher man.
The preacher man. Oh, okay.
Tell 'em I'm not no preacher.
Well, my mother in California, I want you to know that was him. That was him that said something about, they call a preacher man. My mother have let me know from way back, if she ever hear of me conducting myself trying to act like a preacher, a minister, a reverend, that I can already know she brought me here and she will take me out. She will not have a son who is not qualified. She's too much of a spiritual woman to allow that to happen out of her womb. So, son, I don't play. You can call me Dr. Talk, but preaching, Not on my rim.
It's not on mine either, but people say I talk so much
Yeah.
that I'm always like I'm preaching. Put it in a book. Just put it in a book.
Put in a book. Hey, but the thing about television is I'm very elementary in some things. When we talk about hitting a target, well, if I got a gun and I shoot, wham, one out of my pistol, bam, I may hit one target. But if I have old school, the shotgun, and I shoot a shotgun, I got all these pellets coming out. I hit all these targets. So television is like the ultimate weapon as such. I see people doing the Facebook and doing the selfies, etc. And then we wonder why there was called low-budget films as opposed to other films. You can see the professionalism in that. So when we are doing a television show, then it is for the production quality that we're looking to have to bring to the world and to bring to the folk. So that's what, and when you do it this way, Otis Mathis, you're reaching a whole greater number of people, like we're going around the world.
Right.
We also throughout throughout the United States, because the Roku box, the Amazon, the Apple, and Alexa, and Echo, all these devices, the Facebook and Fire Stick, all of these. So you have no idea who's watching you. I have correspondents who call in from California. I'm a Soul Beat veteran. Soul Beat television veteran, television there for many years, actually won at one point the show of the year, etc.
Oh, congratulations.
Had a show called Night Talk Jones. Oh, all night long. We'd keep you up from 9 to 2 in the morning. And my thing was, I'll keep you up all night long with Night Talk Jones. But Otis, what is your sights set on at this point? What do you see happening in your views at this point from you?
From me? Well, as my former wife was telling me the other week when she was in here from Texas, that I got too much on my plate and I'm getting old. I should sit down. But I've developed a youth program in African town called The Power of Kids. They came up with the name to build leadership, understand the arts. And,
Can you speak a little louder?
and understand the arts. And also we're going to ride the Iron Pimp, if no one know what the Iron Pimp from the 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Oh, come on now.
The
We
bus.
don't. Oh, okay.
It's the bus.
It
the
is
Iron
called what?
Pimp. We called it the Iron Pimp because as kids, we hung out a lot at 13 getting our butt whipped. If you're going somewhere across town, you had to ride the bus.
Okay.
So you get sharp and you jump on, the pimps had the caddies.
Got it.
The kids, we jumped on the bus. And so
Sharp.
we said, we're going to catch the Iron Pimp over to Linwood and Puritan today.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm teaching the young people 13 to 17 in the organization next month to ride the Iron Pimp, like downtown, Eastern Market, and learn how to use it, even going in and outside the city of Detroit.
Got that. That's a wonderful thing. Transportation.
We also are building office space in African Town. My partner, El Porter, and I bought a building we're renovating to put a little a commercial store on the first floor and turning the one apartment into a office space.
Okay.
I'm in the process with Mr. Wyatt, who has a building down there. His brother used to have it as a clinic years ago. He's a contractor. He wanted me to come in and manage his building because he's getting older. So we're in discussion of opening up a little store there and more office space. One of the problems in African Town, we don't have office space. We, with Citizens with Challenges, we have just finished a $100,000 structural drawing with Rainey Hamilton from, still called Hamill Anderson. And Rainey is originally from African Town. So we're talking about doing a historical museum in African Town to learn the history. It was the last community ever built in the city of Detroit prior to Victoria Park. And some of the people that came out of there, like the Lloyd twins, Stanley King as judges, a lot of instrumental players, because we were above average income neighborhood.
Well, let me do this. Let me see if we have someone that wants to make a comment or have a question. But Family, this is the Billy E. Jones Talk Beat Jones. I am Billy E. Jones, and my guest is Mr. Otis Mathis.
Mathis.
Mathis. Caller, can I get your first name and your conversation or your comment, please?
Is that me?
That's you. Yes, it is.
Good morning. My name is Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good
I
morning.
kept hearing the brothers say African Town. Could you tell me where that is, and I'll hang up. And thank you for taking my call.
No, don't hang up. Please hang on, please. Oh, she hung up? Hello? She hung up. She wanted to get that information.
A lot of people still today don't know there's a piece of Detroit on the other side of the Rouge River in the downriver community. I would tell people, especially when I was came home from the service in the 70s, was somewhere. And how did I get back to that area? And if I tell white folks near Ecorse and River Rouge, and they'll go, where? But if I tell white folks near Lincoln Park, Melvindale, Dearborn, Southgate, Ellen Park, they can give me direction. And the reverse is I would tell black folks how to get there to Melvindale, Dearborn. They will go, where? I go Ecorse, River Rouge, because Ecorse, Rouge, and that part of Southwest, which we now renaming African Town, butt up. We call it the Tri-City also. And even a lot of white folks in Southwest, Ecorse, and Rouge today didn't know it was called Tri-City, the black community, the three black portions of the community. So it's zip code 48217. It's called Boynton on the maps today.
It's called what?
Boynton.
Can you spell that?
Boyton.
Just like it said. Boynton. And so now, if I had a challenge going in that direction, when would I have an understanding that I'm going into the area known as African Town?
If,
And the second question to that is, officially, that section is not listed as African Town. Is that right?
correct. We got to do petitions and retag it.
Got it. Okay. So just to help us get an update again about what is the location of the area that is designated as African Town?
So there's no streets that lead into African Town.
Okay.
You got to come through a suburb or cross a river. That's why a lot of people don't realize it's a part of Detroit. Say if you're coming away from downtown, going south on 4th Street, soon as you come past through Delray and then cross the Rouge River, you're in the African Town. If you're coming from downtown up Jefferson, soon as you pass Delray and cross the bridge, like crossing the bridge on 4th Street, you come into the city of River Rouge, and then when you get to, well, we'll say the main street, when you get to Schaefer, which is Coolidge in River Rouge, you make a right turn. When you cross Bassett, you in African Town. Or if you come at I-75, because a lot of people think when they're going up over the bridge on I-75, over the Rouge River, because it's the second longest bridge in the state, actually, people think, we're on our way down south, we out of town. That's when you smell that smell and all that. But the next two exits is a part of African Town, Schaefer and Outer Drive south.
Now, in African Town, is there a large diversity of population?
It used to be, now it's 90-something% African American.
Oh, okay. Great. Give me an understanding as to the city council folk in Detroit. Are they folks who are working? Let me back up. When we had the city council, open city council, can you tell us what did you see how the city council members operated when they were an open council?
I mean, at large?
At large, as opposed to having this district council folk, District 1, District, and this is my district, and this is your district, and I'm going to keep my nose in my business, and when you say you got something good, I'm with you. And
we never had no representation. People come in and say what they're going to do, but never do it.
Is that in the at-large city council style?
Yes,
or
when
the
it's
district?
at large, yes.
Okay. Was the reason that Ms. Joanne Watson worked almost 6-7 days a week because she represented the citizens entirely of Detroit?
Yes, there were a few city council members at large would mention the neighborhood, and specifically Joanne Watson. She used to have, I think her family had a business. I don't think it was that far into the Fort Schaefer area, but it was in southwest Detroit.
Now, we have, with this district, we have 2 at-large city council folks. I yet have not hearing anything that the at-large, now I know they're on the council, but have you heard them try to step in or try to help districts that felt that they were being underserved? Or is it a mechanism for the people to tell the at-large folk that their city council representative and their district office persons is not really representing them and with the problems that they're having?
Yeah, vote some of them out. We almost knocked off the Latino council member to represent us with Tyrone Carter, and just over, if you split the votes, 150. So that put fear in her heart. She's starting to pop up, but more as a mouth, saying what she's going to do, holding meetings. They love holding meetings, but we never seen no productivity.
What is that person's name?
Castile.
City council lady?
Right.
Castile?
Casteloa.
Yeah, okay, Raquel.
Raquel, right.
And no disrespect, but we didn't want to mess up all of the name. I didn't.
I always do.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
I'm bad with names.
Hey, especially when they got to it.
I don't have to do that. I took the Dale Carnegie course in 2017, 12
Okay.
weeks. Still mess up.
So so you can see that the city council folks, they seem to have a relationship. And when you're looking at them doing all of these proposals, and there's only 2 or 3 council persons that's making this determination before they bring it back to the full body. But when they bring it to the full body, their colleagues have already told them, we're going to want you to pass this. Have you seen that or noticed that?
I noticed that when I was a Wayne County commissioner and when I was on the school board of the city of Detroit, got elected. I tell people, when I became a Wayne County commissioner, I was about 29, 30. I didn't understand what was going on behind closed doors. There's a certain opportunity you get, and you don't realize even the people you think activists are supporting you. I remember when Art Blackwell and then would ask me for a vote, and I couldn't give it to them. They used to call me grassroots because no one knew who I was when I won. But then when the votes were, they needed my vote, they threw everything at me. And when they finally got someone to cross over to give them the majority, they will say, you can go ahead and vote your way. We got the votes. I hate when I learned that, because there were people supposed to be representing me I respected, and they knew behind closed doors they did not have the votes, and they would come out and tell you that they're fighting for you. I'd rather for you to come out and tell me you 1 vote short, which commissioner my people should point at, who should we go at that does not represent us in our district, go to the people in their district, tell them we'll help you, you help us this time, and persuade your county commissioner to vote along with ours to stop or do whatever action it needs to improve quality of our life in African Town.
Fantastic. Tell me this. Have you followed the Charter Commission Review Board?
Yes, I normally go to that Tuesday because I have a youth program. I never did a physical youth program. I always found funds in my neighborhood for organizations like Little League and things. But last year I decided to develop my own youth program. So we meet the 4th Saturday of the month, and the Charter Commission meets on the 2nd and 4th. But I am a member of one of their committees. It's till with the zoning, planning, and equality, and we meet every other Wednesday at 5:30 at the Boston Edison Library off Southfield and Joy.
Okay.
And then I go to some of the other committees like the election.
Give me an Give me an overview, Otis Mathis, from your perspective of being there at the Charter Commission Review board. What is your perspective on watching them operate?
Well, I've saw this before. They want to, and I've got up to the mic and mentioned this several times when I go. When you look at the audience, it's 99.9% African American. If this charter is so important, which is the power, who's going to have the power, the mayor or the council, why is it that we don't see the 25 to 30% white people living in the city of Detroit and vote in the city of Detroit are not sitting up at these charter commissions? So they're cutting deals with some of these charter commissions behind closed doors. Another thing is that initially that Dan Gilbert, along with Mike Duggan, them put up $900,000, $100,000 per seat, when they didn't even let people know that this charter was going to be put on the ballot for charter commissions.
Hold up. Retrace your step. Dan Gilbert, Mayor Mike Duggan, and you associated somewhere about $900,000?
Yeah, there's nine.
What was that money being put together for?
To elect, they tried to elect all 9 charter commissioners that will follow their rule. It's $100,000 per charter commissioner.
So they backed 9 different commissioners?
Correct.
I mean, potential commissioners.
Correct.
And so this is why they're saying that there is 6 people that are directly related in some form or fashion to Mike Duggan and Dan Gilbert?
Well, initially not 6, but 4. And so the people went out with the people slate, and they thought they had 5, and they thought they beat all that money. Then when come to find out that the only white female who went to the black church, you know, white folks are going to black churches. If you never campaigned, because by me living in a majority white community, even when I was elected to office, I went in white churches and it's treated totally
But I
different.
need to stay on point here right quick.
So the white person went into black churches and black folks voted for her, and some of the charter commissioners that was for the people put them on a people slate. After she got elected, she was a Dan Gilbert and Mike Duggan person.
So out of the 9 folk,
Now you got 5 to 4, right?
no, you have 6 to 4
No, you started off with 5 people
that are elected.
elected.
No, the 4 people, and here is where we come in on this. The Talk Beat Jones, Billy Jones show was the person that brought in the people slate,
Right.
and of that you have the
You have 4
Joanna.
people.
You have Joanna Underwood,
Small.
Small, and
Barbara. And the white lady.
and the white lady. That was 4.
Right.
Now, you have the other person, which is the white lady that you spoke on, is basically in bed with the other 6.
No,
The other,
it wasn't on the people slate, but there was one more person. He was imported by Tom Burrows and all them, those activist groups.
did they get elected?
He got elected.
He got elected.
Correct.
Do you remember his name?
He's from Osborne neighborhood. I'm bad, like I said. I'm bad
Okay,
with
no,
names.
not a problem with that. So
He's the
there-
only other brother on there besides Richard Mack.
okay, so yeah, Jones.
Right.
Jones.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, they have 6
In the
votes.
beginning.
No, and talking about now, as we're speaking of.
Oh, you mean the Duggan team?
Yes, as
Right,
we're speaking
yeah.
of right now, there's
Right.
6 against 3.
Right.
What do you see? Now, I know the papers and the eyesight tests that sometimes we see what's going on by television or social media. What is it that you see is going on at that table?
I see the Duggan people, Dan Gilbert people, is coaching primary the chair and maybe a few other of those commissioners, because one commissioner, that none of them have lived, 2 of them hadn't lived here but about a year or so, who got elected.
Let's stay with the chair.
The chair is to attack the people's, because the people are showing up at these meetings, to attack the people's elected team to make them look crazy and with the support of the media.
When we say to look crazy, it is because they are making objections and showing that some of the things that the other folk are trying to do and are doing are illegal?
They are doing it But it's very hard when you say illegal because you tied up in court. It's not illegal until a decision is made. So they got the Duggan and them team got the law department of the city of Detroit. They got any money Dan Gilbert can put up in any research. The peoples, they don't get money. And you got to realize these jobs only pay a stipend. So it's like Joanne Underwood, I call her the young Fannie Lou Hamer. She had to go to work and work midnights and try to, as a single mother. and try
She
to
knew
do
that
it.
when she went for this situation. But so what we're talking about is the fact that they have the power. They may be operating and getting a stipend. However, they have the hiring power to put people in a position to make over $100,000. Is that
It
correct?
didn't work like that.
Well, how did it work?
That's now still up to debate, even though now they're going to re-vote on that. And the two people, one was from the emergency manager's office, are still being paid. Technically, they're not hired because the chair said they work for her.
Hold up. So you're telling me that the last two people that was hired
The only two people.
through the office or the person that was doing the inquiry or the backgrounds, etc., was Richard Mack, and and the hiring that I thought came from his office, from his
No, he
part.
did the selection, so he whittled it down. So no one knows except for these people he familiar with. And what I get on Richard Mack about, he fought the emergency manager
But
for the people.
wait. We're speaking still with this hiring because I've watched, and Joanna Underwood and Ms. Small have consistently spoke about these two hiring that was done. They said that they was not in favor and that it was done improperly, and these people are making $110,000.
The max they can make.
And it was not negotiated because apparently it should have been where it was done in steps.
Right.
But they was given the max straight off.
Correct.
And they're saying that was not done in a fair environment.
Correct.
So how is it that this chairwoman is saying everybody works for her, and she says that Nicole is supposed to be her like person in waiting, is supposed to do her bidding? You heard that, right?
Right.
You heard Richard Mack say that, I heard Richard Mack say that Joanna Underwood was not a fit person, in so many words, to hold her position that she holds on that council.
Correct.
But that's his colleague.
Correct.
Why would he go public? Because this was on the radio station. Why would he go and blast her in that fashion, and that's his colleague?
Because I think, this is just what I think, when Richard Mack started putting out when he ran that he fought with the unions against the emergency manager, that's over. And if somebody have children and they're getting older, you need to find some money. So
The lady
they gotta
who is
stop Joanne.
the lady who is the chairperson, she seems to rely entirely upon directions from Richard Mack.
She don't know what she's doing. I've never saw a chair like that in my life.
But she worked for the emergency manager.
She didn't work for the emergency manager directly. She worked for the judge that gave all the favor rulings to the emergency manager.
So is this the reason that her perspective is that she is the person that is in charge? Everybody else is working under her direction on this council?
No one
On
is
this,
supposed to
city?
be working under her, but the majority of the people covered by Duggan and Dan Gilbert. If you want to keep your job, like one is an attorney for Dan Gilbert's on the commission. And if you want to keep your job or look at some future way to make money,
Okay.
is that, you're going to follow and they're going to let
We're
the
going to
chair
have
beat up.
we're going to have to follow up on this again. Mr. Otis Mattson, I want to thank you for being here today. Remember, this is the Billy Jones Talk Be Jones show. Remember, we're on the air every Sunday from 8:30 to 10. You can catch us in a rebroadcast on Sunday nights from 8 to 9:30. Again, you can call me at 313-868-3600. 3111. But if you're new and I don't know you, don't call me, text me. We love you, we respect you. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And